Hello, Pyrolyzer here, and welcome to this Destiny video. So it's May 2017, and I did some math, and it's exactly 959 days, believe it or not, since Destiny launched in September 2014. And lately, as I've been playing the game, various activities, I pretty much do everything at one point or another. I've noticed an interesting and exciting, I'll call it phenomenon, maybe phenomenon's too strong of a word, but an observation I've made as I've been playing the game recently. And I'll show you what I am observing here with the gameplay in the background. So I'm loading into a patrol on the Cosmodrome. If you're new to this game and you're not sure what a patrol is yet because you're just starting, I'll get to that later. So as I spawn in at the steps in the Cosmodrome, take a look around, not much action, decide to go ahead and fire up my Sparrow, head over to that patrol beacon in the distance, grab the patrol and start that just to see what happens. And as you can see upcoming, grab the patrol, turn around, start taking out some of these fallen enemies here, and boom, right away, not a minute after I've spawned in, Arrogant Mink 862 now has also spawned into the area with me. So out of curiosity, I turn around, check them out, take a look. Yep, level 14. This is the phenomenon I was describing. So here's a low-level Guardian. Not sure what activity Arrogant Mink was doing at the time, assuming it's a patrol or a story mission of some sort. But that's my main point here, is that I'm seeing a lot of low-level Guardians playing the game in all sorts of activities. So I head over to the Moth Yards to see what else I could find, or who else I could find, I should say. And voila. Here we go. Another person, low level. Harambe the Goat. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I tried to take a look at Harambe here, and they successfully avoided me. I'm sure not on purpose. I just want to get a look face to face and see what they look like. But this is the exciting thing that I've noticed, that even today, over 2.5 years since the game launched, we have people that are starting the game for the first time that are new, and if I were to start the game today, I think I would be thoroughly confused because there are so many activities, so much to do in the game now after all the content updates and DLC that I decided why not create a new video series and try to help some of these beginners out. And therefore, this is why I started this Destiny Beginner's Guide. When starting a new game in Destiny for the first time, the first thing you'll be able to do in the game is choose your class of character. And there are 3 classes available: a Titan, a Hunter, and a Warlock. And each class has 3 subclasses. These subclasses basically allow you to control light in the game for different abilities, your super ability they call it. And the first subclass in each class of character is unlocked automatically, but you need to level up to levels 15 and 25 respectively to be able to access the other subclasses. So I've decided to go ahead and start as a Hunter with the subclass Gunslinger. Summon a flaming pistol which disintegrates enemies with solar light. So after choosing which class you'd like to start with, we're going to get into some character customization. For your character type, you can select between 3 different types of races, if you will. That's Exo, Human, and Awoken. And I won't get into what those all are, but let's just read what Human is. You are human, hardy, and adaptable. Your ancestors rose from Earth to build an age of miracles. So you can pick between male and female, lots of customization options here. I won't go through them all here, and I speed up the video just to kind of get through them all quickly, and I just pick a default female human as my character to start with in order to get going. So after you select your character, we'll get into the opening cutscenes, which we're going to skip here for brevity and also to remain spoiler free. I'll let you watch that on your own. So after you complete the first missions, which we won't go through here, you will spawn into the tower. Now we're not going to go into what the tower is right now. I'll save that for a later video. But here's just a quick peek of what the tower looks like. Again, trying to remain mostly spoiler-free here and let you investigate things on your own as a beginner into the game. But we will go through in great detail what's in the tower and what's available to you in a later video in this series. Next, using a brand new character I created on a second account of mine, I'd like to walk through all of the different character screens and menu options that we have real briefly. So what you can see here is your primary weapon loadout, your secondary weapon, in this case a sniper rifle, your ghost. Each of those has an armor defense value that adds up to your total light level that you can see coming up momentarily. I have a chest armor, gauntlets, helmet, legs, and you can see the light level of 6 is the combined value of all of my gear's defensive stats. Intellect, discipline, and strength are what allow you to recharge your super abilities, your grenade, and your melee abilities later in the game. On the settings menu, lots of settings here. Won't go into every single detail or every single menu option, but I do want to point out one thing with the button layout. Now I prefer to use a jumper button layout, and the reason I do that in the game is because it allows me to keep my thumbs on the thumbsticks and my fingers on the triggers without having to remove them to activate the super ability, which becomes available to you as you progress in the game. So that's your choice. You prefer whatever you want, but that's just the one I use just for reference. If you go into the inventory screen, lots of emptiness here because we're just starting out with a new character. And we'll get into details of this later in a different video as well. But materials, you have mission items, different ornaments, and silver dust available to purchase different things in the tower later, and consumables that you can use for various buffs and leveling activities later. In addition, the in-game economy is controlled by Glimmer, which is just obtained through different activities and killing enemies and such and completing things, and you can use that Glimmer to level up your weapons and gear as you progress. Next, we'll look at the progress menu. Now, the progress menu is where all of your quests will be stored. Now, quests can be story missions, side quests, different activities, and all of these will be here for you to see, so you can follow through any of these. You can track them. If you're on Xbox, you can click the A button. If you're on PlayStation, I actually don't know since I don't play on PlayStation, but whatever the equivalent A button is, you can track it there, and you can see the steps you're on and what the requirements are and how far you're into completing each one. But in the progress menu, really with the quests as you're starting out, is really where you want to spend most of your time to find out what activities are available to you, what you can do, and how to proceed with the main storylines of the game and or the various side missions that are available. The record books on the left side, won't spend too much time on that in here since they released Age of Triumph, the last content update for Destiny. There's an Age of Triumph record book which will open here. You can see it. If you don't want to see it, you can skip ahead of the video, but it's basically just a book with a bunch of activities in it you can track and earn various in-game rewards, and if you complete the entire book and achieve rank 7 in the book, there's a special reward at the end that you can order a shirt from the Bungie store if you so desire to do that. I won't spend a lot of time in detail in the book here. I'll let you explore that on your own, but you can see a few pages as an example. So now it's time for today's bonus tip. So in the game, if you're a beginner, I think one thing I would have liked to have known as a player starting out would have been to understand better the recoil of the gun. So you can see here I'm just shooting against a wall. And as a beginner, I think you should do this as well. When you get a new gun, try to shoot it against a wall in an area where you have no enemies and just observe the recoil pattern and see if you can control it and try to control it. It's going to help you as you progress in the game. This was a tip that I never received when I started, but I've seen many videos done on this. There are lots of videos on YouTube. You can look at this, and they do lots of studies. So just wanted to point that tip out and make sure not to overlook this as you start your new character and start your journey in Destiny. Again, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And comment below, too, if you are a beginner and like to know more about specific aspects of the game, and I'll see if I can make a video on that, too. Until next time, see ya!